Another airport and another trip. This is Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, and we're just about to transit down to Nice. We made it to Nice, and now we're just getting ready to pick up our luggage. Here we are in our apartment in Cannes. We arrived yesterday without my luggage. Hopefully this will turn up today. And I'm shooting into the sun, so it might not be so great, but we've got a nice view of the Mediterranean. And I think I see a place where we might have our breakfast. This is the swimming pool in our apartment hotel. Nice sunny afternoon, doesn't look too bad. But the pool isn't open till the end of March, so we'll have to wait a few weeks before we go in there. Now the tour has brought us around to the front of our building. This is a view from the front door of the apartment. Just looking towards the exit out to the main road and the sea. This is the road that goes up past the apartment. Goes really high and the views are terrific. And now I'm just going to turn around, and this is the way down to the beach. We've just come down the road from our apartment to the beach, and we're on the railway crossing. Not sure if it's going to stay nice. Hope the sun stays out till we get back home. And the view continues. You can see the sort of places that people live in here. Very nice views of the bay. And there are those darn clouds again.
So by the Middle Ages, the people of Nice, before fasting 40 days, according to Catholic tradition of Lent, enjoyed rich, plentiful cuisine, and all of the excesses were authorized. They just went like in a gluttony rage. It was amazing. And mocking behind masks, etc., protected by disguises, the first recorded carnival in Nice goes back to 1294, if you can believe it.
Okay, here we are in Nice, inside the festival, and just waiting for the parade to start.
Notre ami Christian, depuis le roi du 3e millénaire, il est toujours avec nous pour ce roi des...
Totally covered it. Oh, exactly, and everything. No, these are about 40 pictures that I'm going to get rid of. Looks like the
À penser à cette Océanie, à ces étonnants mégaliths, avec ses peintures qui ont inspiré le mystérieux Opophague. Cet animal recroquevillé, qui mesure déjà 10 mètres auquel s'ajoutent ces 8 pattes de 11 mètres de long qui se tutoient hors du char.
It's been a week since the Nice Carnival, and it's been raining pretty much every day. So it's now Saturday, and I'm just taking a view from the patio of our apartment. We're off to Nice again tomorrow, and just hope that the weather stays like this. Best day we've had for a week. Well, it's Sunday and we're here in Nice, walking along the Promenade des Anglais, and we're just waiting for the little train to come in and take us on a tour. This is a view by the castle at Nice. Now it's time for lunch and we've just gone through the market and ordered some galette, which should be here soon. We're on the way to Monaco and we've just stopped in Villefranche to look at the lovely view. I don't know what that's doing here. It turns out that there's a National Oceanography Institute here, and this mini submersible is a tribute to Jacques Cousteau. We're here at the Imperial Palace in Monaco and just lining up for the changing of the guard ceremony. In the Casino Square in Monte Carlo. Just panning around into the sun, and there's the casino. And this is the royal family's entrance of the opera.
The best part in terms of decoration.
No?
We're in the mountain village of Ise, just climbing up to the castle.
Yeah, you.
Wow. Oh my god, that's scary. Oh. That's amazing.
Village of Mougins, where apparently Picasso lived his last years, and we're just going to move forward over to the view here. Time for a coffee break. We're still in Mougins, wandering around the little streets. Not quite sure where we're going, but it all seems to just go around in a big circle until you reach the top of the hill. So we just came down here and we're trying to decide which way to go.
Does it take us back to the tourist office?
We're looking at the place where Picasso stayed and painted the walls, and they made him paint it over because they didn't like the painting. If only they knew. So finally, this is the panoramic view of the village of Mougins. Just about 20 minutes north of Cannes on the bus. It's a bit fuzzy. Well, it's Friday, 2 weeks after we arrived in Cannes, and it looks like it's snowing. I can't believe it. We're here in the south of France. Hopefully this won't last too long, but it is very cold this morning. We're on the way to the patched village of Gourdon, but before we get there we're stopping in Grasse to go around the Molinard perfume factory. Here's a view from the outside of the Molinard factory before we went in.
I'm going to spray a very good refreshing eau de toilette, which is called en français l'eau de Molinard, l'eau fraîche de Molinard. So here is the old distillation room. So we are going to see the process that we still use, but no more here.
We're on the way to the village of Gourdon in the Alps. Just stopped to take a picture of the view. What a beautiful place this is. We finally made it to the village of Gourdon, and there's snow up here. This is an unbelievable sight. The views here just keep getting better and better.
We can tell it's raining. Are we back to where we came in?
I think so, yeah.
We just walked round to the back of the village and just discovered this restaurant. It's closed now, but just imagine what this would be like when the weather was warmer. Incredible view. And here's a better view of the restaurant from just a little further up. Too bad it's not open yet. Saturday morning in Cannes, and it's the Saturday morning craft market. We seem to be in the artists section now. Hello! Just coming up to the Saturday morning market. decided to go to Antibes after our visit to the market, and we're on the local bus. And now it looks like we're taking a turn off to the Cannes station. Well, we made it to Antibes and we'll just pan around the waterfront over to the mountains and the old town. We're just going to have some lunch and then we'll look around the old town. Time for lunch, and we found a nice little beach for a picnic just by the side of the old town. It's the Monday morning of our last 2 weeks here, and the lovely view from our room tells us that it's still raining. Hopefully it'll clear up later and we can get into Nice or Villefranche, and tomorrow we're off to Saint-Tropez.
We have another kind of aromatic plant, which common name is the cumin plant. Now we have to cure a little bit because of some works.
Ça vous fait la surprise. There is room next to me. Famous name, but most of the private along the bay.
We've just left the group and we're walking up to the Citadel, but I just have to stop and take a picture of this incredible view. Lunch stop in Saint-Tropez. This is the Saint-Tropez waterfront again. What can I say? We've just walked along the sea wall, and here's a view looking back over the harbour and all these massive boats. And when we're done here, we're going for a tour of a winery. I know this is the same view as before, but it just seems to be a different angle, and it seems to be impressive, no matter how many times you look at it.
And the barrels are sold and used for the elaboration of the cognac or the Armagnac.
We've just arrived at the Chateau de Saint-Martin, which apparently has been run by the female members of the family for about 200 years.
Start this way.
We feel by the top on the first round is the juices for the drinks, and everything was done by gravity, and they used to take the wine from here.
This is a view of the Ile Sainte-Marguerite, just off the coast of Cannes, about a 15-minute ferry ride away, and we're going to be going over there today. Well, we made it to the dock and we're just waiting for the ferry.
Yeah, I believe it.
Another view of the land from the fortress on St. Marguerite Island. And this is a view scanning around part of the barracks. There's a block of prison cells on the Ile de Sainte Marguerite, and there was in fact an actual prisoner kept there, hooded so that nobody could see who he was, and this was the basis of the novel by Alexandre Dumas, The Man in the Iron Mask. Well, we've just walked across the island and come to the other side, and this is the other smaller island. I think it's Saint Honoré or something like that, and the only thing there is a monastery. Around this side of the island is one of the world's few remaining furnaces for heating cannonballs. These were very hazardous for the people operating a heated cannonball into a cannon because of the chance of the cannon exploding before they fired the shot. The cannonballs went into the high end of the furnace, rolled down over the flames, and then came out at the other end. This is a view of the inside of the furnace, and when the hot cannonballs were put in a cannon and fired into a ship, it would be more likely to set fire to one of the attacking ships. We've walked all the way around the island, and we've now come back towards the Cannes side, looking down in the direction of the road to Saint-Tropez, and there's a big Oceania cruise ship that's in the port, and now we're looking at Cannes again, and all the way around towards Antibes and towards Nice. This is the day trip to Cap Antibes. Weather isn't great. This is part of the marina at Antibes, which apparently is the biggest in the whole area.
How'd you break your ankle in France?
We're still in Antibes, and we've gone to the gated community, and we're into the big stuff here. Somebody said Bill Gates had a boat here. Wouldn't surprise me. How about this one? We've reached the end of our stay in Cannes, and we're now moving on to Arles and a riverboat cruise on the Rhône up to Lyon and then to Paris.